Welcome to another edition of CRAM IT, where we are going to be jamming through everything important that happened in the first 4 films in the Jurassic Park series. So you're all set for film number 5, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
God creates dinosaurs. God destroys dinosaurs. God creates man. Man destroys God. Man creates dinosaurs.
All right, that's it. See you next time, folks. We're just kidding. In the first film, Jurassic Park, we meet ambitious entrepreneur and white linen suit enthusiast John Hammond, who's cloned dinosaurs from fossilized amber and housed them in a combination zoo theme park on Isla Nublar off the coast of Costa Rica, which he plans to open to the public very soon. But after one tiny little accident that could really happen to anybody, his investors start to get cold feet about park safety. Fortunately, his lawyer Gennaro has a plan.
If 2 experts sign up on the island, the insurance guys will back off.
So Hammond recruits paleontologist Alan Grant and paleobotanist Ellie Sattler, along with mathematician Ian Malcolm.
Chaotician, actually.
Sure, okay, whatever. Hammond also invites his grandkids along for the weekend.
Grandpa!
Kids!
Because what's a business trip to an experimental cutting-edge zoo filled with vicious predators during a tropical storm without a couple of plucky pre-adolescents? Needless to say, the experts are blown away by the dino clones.
It's a dinosaur.
Get a crash course in how they were made from Mr. DNA.
Jurassic Park scientists extract the preserved blood from the mosquito and, bingo, dino DNA.
And learn how the dinosaur populations are controlled from geneticist Dr. Henry Wu.
There's no unauthorized breeding in Jurassic Park because all the animals in Jurassic Park are female.
Dr. Malcolm calls BS on the whole no breeding thing via future franchise poster tagline.
Life, finds a way.
We also meet gamekeeper Muldoon, who's largely in charge of wrangling the most deadly predators in Jurassic Park, the vicious velociraptors. Boy, it sure would be a shame if those got out. Anyway, hold on to your butts because it's time for a tram tour around the park. But while Hammond spared no expense building the park, he clearly didn't spare enough salary to pay his head engineer, Dennis Nedry, enough, because he made a shady deal with a rival company to steal Jurassic Park dinosaur embryos. Nedry, then shuts down the park's electrical grid and security systems to cover his theft. He attempts to drive to the docks in the middle of a tropical storm. Yeah, it doesn't go well. The samples Nedry stole fall to the ground and get covered in mud in a shot that's clearly laying the seeds for a sequel. But it isn't. Unfortunately, Nedry's system shutdown means that all of Hammond's guests are now trapped in a powered-down dinosaur amusement park with non-functioning electrical fences. So yeah, they're in trouble. Malcolm gets injured and Gennaro gets eaten, but Grant and the kids get away, embarking on numerous wild adventures on their journey back to the visitor center.
God bless you!
Along the way, Grant also discovers dinosaur eggs and baby dino tracks.
I found a way.
Back at the visitor center, Hammond asks Samuel L. Jackson to shut down the park's entire system and reboot it in order to fix Nedry's hack and get everything back online. Samuel L. Jackson then asks us to
Hold on to your butts.
It works, but the raptors are now loose. Ellie almost gets eaten by one when she goes to the maintenance shed to turn the power back on. Muldoon does get eaten by one, but at least he respects her for it.
Clever girl.
And Lex and Tim are terrorized by a pair of them in the visitor's center kitchen. Eventually, everyone reunites just in time to be totally surrounded by raptors. Things look grim until the T-Rex shows back up and eats the raptors. How did she get in there? It doesn't matter. They're all friends now. Happy ending.
After careful consideration, I've decided not to endorse your park.
And no one was dumb enough to ever bother the dinosaurs again. The Lost World Jurassic Park opens 4 years after the events of the first movie on Isla Sorna. A rich family's decided to have a fancy champagne picnic on the island, which is a bad idea because it's full of, wild dinosaurs. As it turns out, InGen, John Hammond's company from the first movie, had a whole other island, dubbed Site B. Hammond loses control of his company because of the dinosaur attack, and now he's worried that
It's only a matter of time before this lost world is found and pillaged.
So he wants to send in an expedition to document him before that happens. Enter Ian Malcolm, who was never really in favor of this whole dinosaur business in the first place, so there's no way he's gonna go.
No.
Unless you do something really underhanded like recruit his paleontologist girlfriend and make sure she's already on the island.
You didn't contact Sarah.
It's too late. She's already there.
Wow, that is pretty low. Okay, so Malcolm agrees to go on the expedition to rescue Sarah. Oh, and remember when he said that he had 3 kids back in Jurassic Park?
Got any kids? Oh, hell yeah, 3.
Well, we get to meet one of them, Kelly. Kelly used to do gymnastics at school, but got kicked off the team.
Gymnastics? I scrubbed out, Dad. I got cut from the team.
This will definitely not ever come up again later. Malcolm meets the rest of his team, which consists of conservationist and photographer Nick Van Vinsvon and tech guy / beardless Toby Ziegler Eddie Carr. So the crew takes off for Isla Sorna by boat, finds Sarah, and are shocked to discover that Kelly has tagged along in an observation trailer and is now stuck with them on the island. Then they discover that Ludlow, John Hammond's evil nephew and new head of engine, has sent a private army to the island to begin rounding up stray dinosaurs. You see, Ludlow's plan is to open a Jurassic Park in San Diego.
Bring the zoo to them.
Great idea. Their team is led by a big game hunter, Roland Timbo, who just wants one thing.
The right to hunt one of the tyrannosaurs.
Nick Vinsvon sabotages the operation by releasing the trapped dinosaurs, and he and Sarah save an injured baby T-Rex and take it to their trailer to bandage it up. Of course, its squeals of pain attract the mom and dad T-Rex right to the trailer. I mean, how do you not see that coming? Kelly saw that coming.
Other animals are gonna hear this.
Jeff Goldblum gets to spout off his main trailer line.
Mommy's very angry.
And the T-Rex is attacked. Trailers are knocked over. Beardless Toby Zieglers are eaten. But the main cast thankfully survives and are rescued by Timbo and his team. Cut off from communication, they formulate a plan to get rescued, which involves the entire party tromping across Dinosaur Island, because of course it does.
There's a communications center here at the old operations building.
Sarah, dinosaur expert that she is still wearing a jacket covered with hot, wet baby T-Rex blood. I'm sure that won't be an issue.
Oh no.
Oh wait, of course it is. A lot of running and yelling ensues, just as Goldblum predicted earlier in the film.
Later, there's running and screaming.
The group radios for help.
Yeah, the operation has suffered severe casualties.
But there are still a bunch of raptors, and they're feeling very raptory. There's a lot of running around, and raptors jumping into and onto and out of things. And remember that plot point about Kelly being cut from the gymnastics team? Well, finally, the group makes it out alive, and they can put this whole nightmare behind. Wait, there's more? Okay. In the worst case of doubling down on a mistake until the next sequel, InGen decides to take the adult T-Rex and the baby back to San Diego to open their park. The ship with the T-Rex arrives in San Diego, but crashes completely out of control into the dock. Seems like Rexy got loose on board, killed everyone, then got back into the loading dock to make a dramatic entrance. And now it wants to wreak that same kind of havoc on the entire San Diego metropolitan area. It's not the female T-Rex we met in the first movie who reappears later in Jurassic World. This T-Rex is a real dick. Malcolm and Sarah break into the somehow instantly almost completed Jurassic Park San Diego arena and find the baby T-Rex, using him to lure its dad back to the ship. It works! Plus they eat the bad guy. Win-win. In the end, John Hammond goes on TV and urges everyone to just leave the dinosaurs alone, and it seems like the world agrees.
These creatures require our absence to survive, not our help.
And no one was dumb enough to ever bother the dinosaurs. Jurassic Park 3 is so excited to revisit the whole dinosaur footprint rippling water thing, they get it in during the Universal logo. Yes, dinosaurs. We're very excited. For this adventure, we're going back to Site B, Isla Sorna. A kid named Eric Kirby goes missing on the island after an unfortunate paragliding accident. Kids, extreme sports, not even once. His recently separated parents, Paul and Amanda Kirby, decide to rescue Eric themselves since the authorities refuse to go to the island because of, you know, the dinosaurs.
We did everything we could. No one would help us.
So they hire good old Alan Grant and his research assistant, Billy. Note that Billy has a fancy 3D printer that he's used to recreate a raptor's voice box. You never know, might be useful. As far as Grant is concerned, he's just leading a flying tour over the island to see the dinosaurs. And it's not until they are over the island that he learns the awful truth.
You cannot land on this island.
They land, which marks the second time Dr. Alan Grant has been lured to a dinosaur island with money, but only the first time he's had a dream hallucination of a talking velociraptor.
Alan.
Unfortunately for Dr. Grant, the idiots he's working for, who can't pay him by the way, immediately start searching for their son, very loudly,
Will you tell your wife to stop making that noise? That is a very, very bad idea.
which attracts the attention of a Spinosaurus. So they try to take off, but then crash the plane. The Spinosaurus doesn't give up easily. It eats this guy, Nash, who has the satellite phone, but then gets distracted by killing a T-Rex, allowing everyone to escape. I don't know what T-Rex that was, but I hope it's the dickish one that ate the dog. The group stumble into a raptor's nest and escape into an old destroyed engine lab. Hey, better check that landline phone. I'm sure that still works. It was worth a try. The raptors continue pursuing them, and Grant realizes that they're far more adept at communication than even he had imagined.
Oh my God. He's calling for help.
The raptors in this movie are downright chatty.
Alan.
Grant gets separated from the group, and things look bleak, but then he's saved by young Eric, armed with gas grenades. Eric's been surviving on his own in an empty water truck for 8 weeks, and if you think that sounds unrealistic, don't worry, the movie totally explains it.
Kid's got resources. Remember what it was like to try to ground him?
See?
This is T-Rex P. How'd you get it?
You don't want to know.
I actually kind of do want to know. Everyone gets reunited, and Grant discovers that Billy stole some raptor eggs from that nest they were in earlier, which is why those raptors are so aggro. Great job, Billy. That was a real Sarah kind of move there. They decide to head for a boat that Grant spots in the river, but have to cross through an aviary full of vicious pteranodons. Billy saves Eric, but gets attacked, and it certainly seems like he's done for. The Kirbys and Dr. Grant all manage to escape, but forget to close the gate all the way. These movies would be so short if just one person wasn't a complete idiot. Once on board the boat, they find Nash's old satellite phone and some Spinosaurus droppings. But before they can use it, Spiny is back for the final showdown. Grant manages to get a very quick call off to Ellie. Before he torches the water, scaring away the big bad Spinosaurus. We get our traditional third act hugs, but then it's a final showdown with the raptors. The group returns the eggs, and Grant talks to them using Billy's 3D printed resonating chamber. Hey, what do you know? It works! Them raptors ain't so unreasonable after all. Just then the military arrives and saves the day, and even Billy's alive.
I rescued your hand.
What a happy ending. Oh wait, I forgot. These dopes left the gate open and a bunch of extremely dangerous pteranodons escaped. This is probably bad, right? I mean, those things are going to wreak havoc on any number of ecosystems. Dr. Grant, as a scientist, surely you're concerned about...
Just looking for new nesting grounds. It's a whole new world for them.
Oh, okay then. Well, with the franchise exhausting both all of its characters and all of Michael Crichton's action sequences from the original Jurassic Park novel, it's time to put the Jurassic franchise to rest. And we can say once and for all that no one was dumb enough to ever bother the Back on Isla Nublar, billionaire magnate Masrani has taken over the park from the late John Hammond, R.I.P., and reopened it as Jurassic World. He's also hired workaholic Claire to run things for him, which includes creating new hybrid dinosaurs to keep tourists interested.
Verizon Wireless presents the Indominus Rex.
The latest in the genetically designed super dinosaurs is the Indominus Rex, created by tertiary original movie character Dr. Henry Wu. Remember him?
She will be 50 feet long when fully grown. Bigger than the T-Rex.
As the movie opens, Claire has invited her nephews, Zach and Gray, to Jurassic World for the weekend while their parents are getting divorced. But they're double ignored because Claire's too busy working to hang out with them and dumps them on her assistant. We also meet the new face of the franchise, badass dinosaur handler Owen, who has trained velociraptors to stare at him.
Eyes up!
Owen's joined by Hoskins, an in-gen villainy type of dude who's really excited about training dinosaurs so that they can be used in military operations.
These guys are gonna run straight into the enemy's teeth and eat them, belt buckle and all.
It's a well-reasoned and extremely sound plan. And you know what? Even before anything technically goes wrong, this park seems really accident-prone. Probably nothing to worry about.
These people never learn.
You said it, Barry. Claire asks Owen to check out the Indominus Rex paddock and make sure it's up to snuff before it opens to the public in a few weeks. But wouldn't you know, that rascal seems to have disappeared. So Owen does the only logical thing. He grabs a super out-of-shape security guard and wanders into the paddock to scope things out himself. Yes, he could have called the control room, who easily could have cleared up the confusion and told him that the dinosaur was still in the paddock using the tracker that's implanted in its skin. But let's go with the proactive approach. Naturally, the Indominus Rex immediately escapes, and Claire deploys a crack squad of dinosaur wranglers.
No one else is gonna get
Eaten?
Who immediately all get eaten. Masrani confronts Wu about why he made a crazed killing machine as an attraction for a family theme park, and Wu's all like, what are you people not getting? Regular dinosaurs are boring. Things at Jurassic World are heating up, but Wu, he's ice cold.
Cooler, I believe, is the word that you used in your memo.
I'm gonna say this guy does not seem like a good dude. Back in the park, Zach and Gray are busy hate-watching Jimmy Fallon and rolling around in a giant hamster ball willy-nilly through herds of giant dinosaurs. When the ride closes, they decide to stay out just a little bit longer because in Jurassic World, you can literally just wander around unsupervised, which is very realistic and safe.
Come on. It'll be fun.
They told you to go back and you're entering a restricted area with a broken fence in a dinosaur park. You deserve to get eaten. Claire remembers these kids are technically her direct blood relatives and tries to warn them to get back to safety.
Hello?
Wait,
Hello?
Zach?
But then forgets that texting is an option and grabs Owen to set out and rescue them. The kids almost get eaten by the Indominus, but make a daring escape and are now lost and alone. As they track them, Claire and Owen discover the Indominus Rex is the most gangster dinosaur of all time.
It's killing for sport.
This dinosaur isn't just a hybrid and scary and invisible. He is pure, concentrated dino evil. Back at headquarters, a dino-crazed Hoskins suggests that the best plan of action is to have the Raptors hunt the Indominus Rex. But despite being in charge of a park literally falling apart around him, Masrani makes the right call.
No velociraptors are going to be set loose on this island.
For now. Zach and Gray try to remind us how much we like the first movie, and then take just a few minutes to fix up a 26-year-old Jeep and drive off. Masrani takes to the skies to try to capture the Indominus Rex and crashes his helicopter into the aviary, which lets all the flying dinosaurs out.
We have a breach in the aviary.
Now they're free to commence their favorite leisure activity, picking people up and dropping them. And Claire's assistant pays the price for attempting to do her job by getting the most undeserving, brutal death in the whole movie. I mean, at least Gennaro was a scum-sucking lawyer.
Thank you.
But no one cares because Zach and Gray are finally reunited with Claire and Owen. Hoskins is loving the dinosaur chaos because it means he gets to take over.
You're all relieved of duty.
And he finally lets the Raptors loose. Owen goes along to protect the Raptors and also so they can get this badass shot for the trailer. But it turns out the Indominus Rex is also part Raptor. So she becomes the new Raptor Alpha, and everybody immediately gets eaten anyway. Wu escapes the island via helicopter, and he's carrying a suitcase presumably filled with genetically altered super lethal dinosaur embryos because he is basically lab coat Thanos at this point. Before Hoskins can round up the rest of that dino DNA in a fitting display of irony, he gets eaten by one of the very raptors that were so clearly never going to get properly trained. Claire, Owen, and the kids make a break for it, but come face to face with the Indominus Rex and the raptors. But this time, the raptors stay loyal to Owen and attack. It's a valiant fight, but they need more.
What? Teeth. We need more teeth.
That's a weird way to put it, but sure. So Claire lets out the park's T-Rex, which immediately fights the Indominus because she's been the hero all along, or read the script. After a lot of neck biting, it's finally the Mosasaur that ultimately takes down the Indominus Rex. Blue and the T-Rex then acknowledge each other and wander off into the night without trying to eat anyone else, because they're probably tired, I guess. Our main cast all survives, and once again we are left with an island ruled by dinosaurs. You know, they should set up a ferry between Isla Sorna and Island Ublar and charge one admission so you can visit both dinosaur islands on the same trip. At least they would do that if anyone at this point in the franchise could possibly still be stupendously stupid enough to go near dinosaurs. Luckily, no one could possibly be dumb enough to ever bother the dinosaurs. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom hits theaters soon, and we hope this has been a helpful recap of the Jurassic franchise up to this point. What did we leave out? Should we have brought up shirtless Ian Malcolm? Does that assistant death in Jurassic World bother you as much as it bothers me? Let us know in the comments below, and as always, likes find a way. Thanks for watching.